OpenShot. Let's pull it apart.
March 23rd, 2026, Reddit. Updated to 3.5 and facing all kinds of problems. OpenShot 3.5 was announced as faster, smoother, and more powerful than ever. The user updated, now crashing on export. 6 days later, OpenShot shipped 3.5.1 to fix the crashes introduced by 3.5. 11 days after, unresponsiveness and audio desync on Windows 10. October 2024 keeps crashing during export. Advice is to lower settings, check RAM, and simplify the timeline. For a beginner who chose OpenShot because it was simple, lowering settings, checking RAM, and simplifying the timeline to complete an export is the complexity they were trying to avoid. September 2024. Entire project lost after a crash. The autosave recovery folder is the only path back. January 2025. Export running at approximately 40 frames per second. User asks if that is normal. It is. OpenShot is the easiest free video editor in this series to start using. It is also the most likely to show its limits in the moments that matter. Jonathan Thomas started OpenShot in April 2008 with a specific problem. He wanted a simple, free video editor for Linux and could not find one that met his needs. The solution was to build it. By September 2008, the project had a name: OpenShot. The original name announcement blog post from that month is still accessible on the OpenShot website. OpenShot was built in Python from the start. Python made it easier to iterate quickly and kept the codebase more accessible to contributors. The performance trade-off is the Python layer's overhead on computationally intensive operations. OpenShot's answer was libopenshot, a C++ library that handles the actual video rendering, timeline engine, and multimedia processing. The Python layer provides the interface, the C++ library does the heavy work. The performance characteristics of the Python layer show in responsiveness and behavior under load. In 2013, OpenShot ran a Kickstarter campaign. The goal was to fund development of the next major version. The campaign raised $46,000, funded partly on promises of features and delivery timelines. Software development on a small team is difficult to estimate. Features promised with optimistic timelines were delayed or modified. Community members who had backed the campaign expecting faster progress were disappointed. By 2026, the Kickstarter controversy exists mainly as a trust shadow, background skepticism in community discussions about whether OpenShot delivers on its promises. OpenShot Studios, LLC operates the OpenShot Cloud API, a commercial service for automated cloud-based video generation on enterprise infrastructure. The revenue from that commercial product funds the free desktop editor. This is how OpenShot continues to exist as a maintained free tool without requiring users to pay. OpenShot 3.5.1 is the current release as of April 6, 2026. The March 2026 update regression follows a pattern documented across the series. DaVinci Resolve's quick export broke after updating to version 20.3. Shotcut introduced version-specific crashes. OpenShot 3.5 was specifically marketed on improved stability, which makes the export crashes introduced by the update more notable than a generic regression. The feature the update was supposed to deliver was the feature it damaged. The export crash pattern from October 2024 illustrates OpenShot's beginner-specific failure mode. The advice to lower export settings, check RAM, and simplify the timeline is technically correct. It is not advice that a beginner who chose OpenShot for its simplicity is prepared to execute. The gap between OpenShot's accessibility positioning and the troubleshooting knowledge required when exports fail is the specific tension the incident reveals. The project loss in September 2024 is the most severe incident in the research period. A crash. The autosave recovery folder as the only path back. OpenShot's target audience of beginners and casual creators is the audience least likely to know the autosave folder exists and least likely to have developed external backup habits. The 40 frames per second export performance from January 2025 reflects the Python architecture's overhead rather than a bug. For a short clip on modest hardware, 40 frames per second is a usable speed. For a creator working with longer content or higher resolution footage, it becomes a meaningful bottleneck. A GitHub issue from February 2023 documents a project that stopped rendering before completion, producing no export at all. The export process began, ran for some time, and then stopped without delivering output. That incident predates the most recent failure documentation by 3 years, suggesting the export reliability problem is structural rather than version-specific. OpenShot's core design is drag-and-drop accessibility. Files from the file browser go directly onto the timeline without an import step. No complex project setup, no configuration before starting. For a user who has never used a video editor, the barrier to having a clip on a timeline is a single drag. This is the design philosophy that makes OpenShot the right starting point for true beginners. The 3D animated title capability is the feature that distinguishes OpenShot from Shotcut at the beginner level. Over 40 vector title templates produce animated text effects powered by Blender running in the background. Animated opening titles that would otherwise require a dedicated motion graphics application are available in OpenShot without any additional learning. For a student making a class presentation, a hobbyist creating a birthday video, or a teacher producing educational content, this is a meaningful differentiator over a blank title card or a static text overlay. Version 3.5 added the optimized preview proxy workflow. Low-resolution proxy files are created for editing, with full resolution used at export to reduce preview lag on slower hardware. Kdenlive and Shotcut have offered proxy workflows longer, and DaVinci Resolve's proxy system is more sophisticated. OpenShot adding proxies in 2026 reflects the gap between OpenShot's current capability and the other editors in this series, rather than a leading feature. Export is FFmpeg based with standard codec and format options. Hardware acceleration support was improved in version 3.5. The platform coverage is Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. OpenShot does not support BSD, unlike Shotcut and Kdenlive, which narrows its compatibility at the edges of the series spectrum. OpenShot is the right free editor for true beginners making their first video, educators building accessible workflows, and casual creators who want animated titles without a learning curve. The drag-and-drop design removes every unnecessary barrier to having a clip on a timeline. The 3D Blender-powered titles produce output that looks like it required more technical effort than it did. For the use case it is designed for, OpenShot works. The failure modes are proportionally significant given that target audience. A beginner who loses an entire project after a crash, does not know the autosave folder exists, and has no external backup habit. That is the documented outcome. Export crashes that require lowering settings and simplifying the timeline. That is the troubleshooting experience for a user who chose OpenShot precisely because they did not want technical complexity. The version update that introduces regressions in a release marketed on stability. That is the trust gap the Kickstarter controversy established, and subsequent releases have not fully closed. The Python architecture is the through line. It is why OpenShot was accessible to build and accessible to contribute to. It is also why the export performance is slower, the UI is more responsive to overload, and the behavior under pressure is more fragile than native code alternatives. The architecture that created the accessibility created the ceiling. OpenShot is the beginning of the free video editing spectrum. It is not the destination, and the research does not suggest it is trying to be. The series thesis holds: the more accessible the start, the sooner the limits appear. The more power required, the more complexity and friction must be accepted. The export that runs at 40 frames per second is slower than Shotcut on the same hardware. The project loss after a crash is more damaging to a user with no backup habits than to one who has developed them. The update regression in a stability-focused release is a trust breach that lands harder on a user community that chose simplicity specifically to avoid this kind of technical disruption. OpenShot resolves the power versus accessibility trade-off in one direction completely.